Hello, let me show you how to add a new product to the Earthborn marketplace. So we start by going to the Earthborn Grows dashboard. You can get it straight off the menu under the Grow With Us. Your product, your store name will be at the bottom there. So if you go there, then you add new listing, keeping in mind that you'll only get to the dashboard once you have completed your first listing. So the screens I'm about to show you will be the exact same one that you will see on the onboarding screen. So on the onboarding screen as well, you would add new listing. You begin by giving it a product name, make it descriptive so that if people search, the name of what they are searching for is in your product name. I will just put some fresh pumpkin into the store. If you have your own system and you want to keep your own product ID, later on we can look at how we can link them. You can add it in there. I don't have one, so I'm not going to do that. The category is very important. Please make sure that you choose the correct category because that's where it's going to show up in the market. So there are quite a few categories. Please go down and find the one that best suits your product. I'm going for vegetables. Next is the price. You use a full stop as the decimal place. So that's 15 Rand 50. It's just 15 Rand. You can just leave it as 15. Or you can add the decimal places. If you have the stock available, select available now. If it's seasonal or made to order, pre-order, please select which is applicable. Even if you choose seasonal, made to order, pre-order, it will still show up in the market so that you can get orders before the product is available. Next, you add your quantity on hand so that people making orders don't order more than what you have available. Then you have the option to swap or trade your product with other users on the platform. If you're not open to swapping, leave it at no. If you are open, select yes, and that will put your product in both the main market and on the swap page. For organic matter, such as vegetables and fruits, etc., you are asked whether it is organically grown, naturally, conventionally, or not applicable. So select that. That field will not display for other items that are not organic. Then you choose your unit type, so that can be any one of these. So I'm going for each. And my pack size is not really applicable because it's each. But say, for instance, I was selling a cherrywood spice room mist. I could choose milliliter and then add the size of the item in the pack size. But as that's not applicable here, I'm just going to remove that. Then we get to the delivery options. These were added on your profile, so you cannot change them here, but you should see if they are still applicable. If they have changed, you need to go back and edit your profile to change them there. You can just double check that your addresses are still correct here, and you can add a special note for delivery about this particular product over here. There's nothing special for me to add, so I'll leave that blank. The packaging type is also comes from the defaults that you added on your profile, but they can be changed here. And obviously my pumpkins are not going to go in glass, so I'll change that to there. The made and the grown by is where often people get an error when they add their products, because you do need to select at least one item from this box, from this region. So it will tell you here whether you've selected it at the end. So you want to make sure that the made and the grown by has at least one selected when you try and save the listing. These are not really applicable, but the more that you add here that are applicable, the more places where it's going to where your product will show up in the market. That's not applicable. Next, I'm going to give it a description. You want to make this as informative as possible so that the person reading it knows what they are buying. And finally, we need to choose an image. Very important that the image does not contain any contact details and that it's less than 4 meg. If there are contact details in your image and you're not sure how to get rid of them, then go ahead and submit the image, and one of our moderators will update the image for you to remove the contact details. I don't have a lot of images on this device, so I'm just going to choose that just to demonstrate. And then finally we add listing. I'm just going to quickly show you that if I don't select something in the made and the grown by region and I try and add the listing, it's going to come up and it's going to highlight and tell me what's wrong, and I need to go and update that. So let me scroll back down there. Or if there's anything else missing, it will tell you at the top of the screen. So just read the error message and then go down and find where you went wrong. And finally, if everything is right, sorry, unfortunately, if you make a mistake, you have to resubmit the image. I need to work on that and I will fix that as I have time. And now I should be able to add the image, add the listing. It'll go back to the dashboard and it will show you what status the product is in. So right now it's pending the moderation process. Once it's approved, you will receive an email to say that it's live in the market, and the status here will change to live. You will see that there is an expiry date against the product that is set to 60 days from the time of creation. And the reason for that is, especially with fresh produce, if it goes out of season, it may not be available, and we don't want to have a lot of stale products in the market. So you will get an email 30 days after you created the product to ask you if it's still available. And once the status is live, you'll find that there's another little icon that comes here that has an up arrow. And all you need to do to extend the expiry date is to click the little up arrow button there, and it will take it forward another 60 days. If you want to go and see how many people have viewed your products, you can click on the title to tell you how many people have saved it and how many people have looked and opened it. If you want to see what your product looks like in the market, you can hit this little I button and it shows you everything that you've submitted. Please check that that is correct. And finally, if you want to edit the product, you just click on the pencil button. It will open it up and you can change whatever it is you need to change. And if you want to delete the product, you just click on that little cross and it will be gone. Thanks for listening. Okay, bye.